आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़, की आवाज़।
A big hello to all our listeners. Welcome to an enriching podcast series, Vigyan Ki Awaaz. This podcast series focuses on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine. A big hello to all our listeners. Welcome back to yet another knowledge-filled episode of Vigyan Ki Awaaz. Dear listeners, in this special episode of Vigyan Ki Awaaz, we have with us Jainsee with 27 years in Technology Information Forecasting and Assessment Council, IFAC, New Delhi. A big hello to all our listeners. Welcome to Vigyan Ki Awaaz, a special podcast series which is visionized to popularize STEM. STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine. Here we have the opportunity to speak to different scientists who have added colors to the enhancement of science in the nation. They have added colors to development of science and have also brought different strata of development in the country. When we talk about scientists, they have not only contributed to betterment of life, but also to the development of the country. When we talk India in the global sphere, we also talk about the scientists, how they have made India much more proud and closer to all the hearts of the community and the members in the nation. When we talk about females, women have done a lot in all these sectors wherever we can imagine. So is science. We welcome a female scientist to our Vigyan Ki Awaaz podcast series. But before we introduce her to the listeners, we are very proud to share that she comes from an institute which was the first institute to have presented the technology vision document, which was presented and which was championed by our former president, Bharat Ratna, Dr. Abdul Kalam ji. And indeed, it is a very great opportunity to speak to a female scientist, to a scientist who comes from an institute which represents India on a bigger sphere. Let's talk to her. Ma'am, welcome to Vigyan Ki Awaaz. Big welcome to this podcast series. We welcome you with open heart and we request you to introduce yourself to the listeners.
Thank you, Ms. Barsha. Thank you so much for the warm introduction. I am Jainsee I-radiolive. I am a scientist AF working in the Technology Information Forecasting and Assessment Council. This is an autonomous body under the Department of Science and Technology. It was set up in 1988. We focus on, which is focused on technology foresight, information and technology assessment, and think tank for the government of India. So, TIFAC has completed 37 years of its existence and I am associated with TIFAC for the past 27 years. And that's my journey.
Wonderful. Ma'am, tell us a little more about TIFAC. How is this body working and how this entire organization works day in, day out to bring the level of science higher and higher?
Yep. TIFAC, as I explained, it's an autonomous body under the Department of Science and Technology. We have different verticals, technology foresight vertical, technology assessment, and we do innovation support and also technology assessment. So, technology foresight means foresight, the very word will make you understand, it's like looking ahead of technologies. So, here this primary task is to bring out technology foresight reports in different sectors, like looking ahead for the next 20 years, where our country should focus, what should be the R&D pointers. So that is one vertical. The other vertical is we support innovation of technologies through different programs. So we have our innovation support programs as well, and also do technology assessment, like what status of technologies, what is the status of a particular technology technology, and what are the important technologies where we should focus, where the other countries like globally they are going, and where we have to lay focus and where we should lay our emphasis. So it is it's we work on a holistic approach. Like it's not focusing on one particular technology. The main USP of our institution is that we are not one particular sector agnostic. We work on all sectors across the board, the different sectors of S&T. So that's the USP of our institution.
Wonderful. Yeah. When we say TIFAC, it is such a big name, and I think this has, like you shared, this has contributed to the field of science, and it brings everybody to the panel, youngsters, male, female, anybody who could innovate with the field of science.
So since I said it was from 1988, we have been having a legacy of having luminaries in our governing council board. So none other than the former president, as you rightly introduced in the beginning, Dr. Abdul Kalam was the chairman of this, and we have other luminaries like Sri Krishnamurti. He was himself a visionary, and Dr. Chidambaram. There were many luminaries, Dr. Saraswat, and currently we have Dr. Devankakar. There were many luminaries who head this council and who guided us, and that's how we were able to do that sort of good work what we have been doing so far.
Amazing. TIFAC is the think tank of Department of Science and Technology. TIFAC is a body of the visionaries. TIFAC is a family where we talk about innovations and science. TIFAC is a body where we always talk about newer avenues in the field of development and the country. TIFAC is nothing less than a family where we all become a little passionate about science. Am I right?
Yeah, very much, yes.
Yes. If you want to add a little more about the contributions of TIFAC to the country, you may please add.
Yes, as I said, other than technology foresight and innovation support also, we have programs working and supporting even women, to bringing back women to the career of science.
Yeah.
So we champion the Women Scientists program, where we help the people, the women who have gone back, who have discontinued their careers due to some marriage or childbirth, and then bringing them back and getting them enrolled as patent attorneys so that they find employment. So that interesting program also we are doing. Other than that, our scientists also work on different areas. They work on mobility, they work on seaweeds. So the range of areas where our scientists work is like huge. And a particular division works on carrying out technology readiness level assessment, like what is the readiness level of each technology. So we do studies for that. We also do classified studies for the government of India as and when requested. So yeah, it's fun.
Wonderful.
Science is fun.
Science is fun, absolutely. Yeah. Because we are talking fun, so I would also like to ask you, how is TIFAC popularizing young minds and their innovations? How can the young people, the Jainsee, can become a part of TIFAC?
Exactly. See, when I told you about the Technology Vision document, we did a sequel to it named as Technology Vision 2035. Okay. So there we met not only the big luminaries or visionaries or experts, we even went and met the people, the common public, specifically students, to first know about their aspirations. You know, actually the students or the young people will be the main like major force who will be contributing to the workforce in the next 20 years. So by then they will be in the working age.
Yes.
So knowing their aspirations and getting to know what do they think about like what their India should be is very important. As a 50-year-old expert says his own thoughts, we should also hear from students also what they want. Like, मेरा भारत देश ऐसा होना चाहिए, मुझे 20 साल में I envisage like this. So we took those sort of aspirations as well when we prepared the vision document. Wow. So we try to reach out to students whenever it is possible. Whenever we go for any other like meetings or workshops, we ensure that we interact with them. So that's how we try to reach out.
Wonderful. I think you described it so beautifully. मेरा भारत महान तब होगा जब मेरा विज्ञान भी महान होगा, और हमारे वैज्ञानिकों के द्वारा ही हमारा भारत महान बनता है, और इन महान उपलब्धियों के पीछे इन वैज्ञानिकों का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है. Now we would like to know from you your field of work in the field of science and which area you have been working on in so much years.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Barsha. Yes, the area which I've been working is material science. So I'm associated with material science right from the beginning, since I joined the organization in '97. So material science as such is a very important key field. See, for example, if you say there are different sectors which you must be knowing, like IT sector, transport, and be it infrastructure, healthcare, everything. You name any sector. There are three sectors which are called as the transversal sectors, transversal technologies, which cut across the all these sectors, whatever I named. Okay. That is material science, manufacturing, and IT. So these three sectors play a very important role in each of them. So any fundamental research in any of these sectors will go a long way impacting other sectors as well. Yes. So material science and research is one such sector which plays a very important role for development of any country. So so I work in this sector.
Okay, so what is the future in this field, and where is India if we talk about material science?
Yeah, material science as such, if you talk about the research and publications, we are now faring much good compared to the earlier years. Like for example 2012, if you see, and now 2022, our research publications number has also increased like 300%. We have increased the number of publications. For 2022 alone, we have around 37,200 publications only on material science, which is a very big good achievement. Yeah. So we are third. If you see the number of publications as per Nature's index, we are third next to China, USA, and then India. So which is a good and proud moment being a material scientist, that I'm able to see that so much of research output is being seen in actuality, because we had always been feeling that the publication number is very less compared to other countries. So now it's good that people have now started working, but only one place where we are lagging behind compared to the other countries is that especially the workforce who are handling these deep tech manufacturing of materials, they are very less in number compared to the global average. Like for us, the national average for us is like 253 people per million, whereas the global average is around 1600 or 1500 per million. So that's how much of workforce which is involved in material science compared to our country. So we have a long way to go, but still I won't tell that we are too much way behind. We are just progressing, and I hope we progress more so that we do a fast catch up for those areas.
I think so far we have achieved a lot. And I think, but there's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
And the roadmap is all set.
Yes.
So you shared the ranking with us. How would you like to shower your knowledge in terms of the future? I mean, where does India lie in the map when we talk about material science?
See, for example, you name any sector, as I said earlier, that materials plays an important role. For example, if you take healthcare, so we need to focus more on the materials, more on biomaterials, research on biomaterials, so that healthcare and even diagnostic devices can be made indigenized also here in India. So it applies both for materials and for manufacturing also. So both the things we need to focus. And for example, in infrastructure also we can focus on more sustainable materials, which is of the future. Sustainable materials means I'm emphasizing the point that we need to use materials which are more energy efficient. Yes. And also use less materials also. We need to emphasize the fact that optimization of materials is also important. We can't use everything and finish it off, no?
Yes.
So we use and optimization of materials. We need to use smart materials in buildings. For example, I'll just tell there are many researches going on in different universities abroad. They have also a very unique concept of thing called as a self-healing concrete, which may be interesting for even children or youngsters also to listen. Self-healing concrete is that in any building, if there is any crack occurs, not even building, any structure, then the entire life of the building goes for a toss, no?
Yes.
So they have introduced a thing is that you introduce a bacteria in it.
Okay.
and then also give a nutrient. They call it as a medium for that. So what happens is that the bacteria can, that it can remain dormant for several years, hundreds of years भी है. तो कुछ साल के बाद, after a few years, it is dormant inside. You introduce the bacteria along with that concrete, live concrete, organic concrete, along with that nutrient, and put it there. The moment a crack appears and it gets in touch with water, crack के तो पानी अंदर आ जाता है, then the bacteria comes back to life.
Okay.
It wakes up, eats its food, which is already given.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then it's in this case it's like calcium lactate they give, and then the bacteria comes back in life, and it forms calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is the limestone,
yes,
basically the concrete, and it fills the crack.
Okay.
So, okay, this is just a live example. So these sort of things are all innovations of material science.
Okay. So
our people should also work on research in such areas, work on cutting edge research areas in these sort of disciplines. This Delft University has done this, and similarly in other disciplines as well. For example, if you take mobility, we can focus for more of like advanced battery chemistry, uske upar dhyan dena hai, and defense applications also. We need to make more biomimetic sort of materials, low weight materials. Light weighting is very important. Even for automobiles, light weighting is very important, because the weight of the vehicle determines the fuel efficiency.
Yes.
So materials play a huge role in different fields. I just named a few.
Okay.
So that's how it is important, and that's why we should focus also. See, for us, academic institutions and R&D, we need to keep abreast with the other countries' research as well,
yes,
especially material science,
yeah,
so that we don't lag behind. We have been often very good adopters. हम एकदम adopt कर लेते हैं दूसरों का technology, but it's like high time that we are 142 crores of people.
Yes.
तो सिर्फ हम adopter ही क्यों रहेंगे? इतना mass है, तो लेट्स एटलीस्ट शो द वर्ल्ड ना. तो हम सिर्फ अडॉप्टर ही नहीं है, हम वी आर एक्टिव ग्रे मैटर वाले लोग है करके वी नीड टू प्रूव. सो या दैट्स व्हाट इज माय विजन.
Dear listeners, we take a break at this enriching conversation. In the next part of this episode, catch more insightful discussions about science and the world of science. In the next episode, we shall bring to you more interesting discussions, his colorful contributions in the field of science, and his passion for the field. Until and up to we meet in the next episode, please take care of yourself, stay healthy, and keep listening to Vigyan Ki Awaaz. Vigyan Ki Awaaz, a podcast series to popularize STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine.
विज्ञान की आवाज, की आवाज.
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you a podcast series on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine, supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. This program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Salam Namaste Community Radio, Noida.
एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी